part of the angle.
So you're an on-screen character again, too. That's a little bit different because you were the powers that be. You were kind of behind the camera. Technically, you're a character, but you're behind the camera. So how did it feel to really kind of be Vic Venom again, if you will, and be like an on-screen character? You're Vince Russo, the guy in charge.
John, I never enjoyed being an on-screen character. I never did. People can say whatever the freak they want. I'm too old to care at this point. And the main reason why I did not like it at all was it took away from, the duties I was responsible for. It took away from the writing of the show, and it took away from the producing of the show. It took away from that. And that's what I always did, and that's what I loved doing. I never, ever, ever for 1 second enjoyed being a character on TV.
So do you wish you almost were just not even not on, but do you wish you were the powers that be thing where you're kind of off screen? Do you wish that, or
I
just
wish I
not
wasn't
on
nothing.
at all?
I wish I wasn't anything. That was Sullivan's idea, bro. The powers that be was Sullivan's idea. I wish I would have never done anything. Bro, when I did Vic Venom at WWF, first of all, Vince caught me completely off guard when that Vic Venom thing happened, and he basically said to me, "Well, you think you can do better?" And I'm not going to say no. I said, "Yeah, I think I could do better." Never thinking for a second the guy's going to say, "Well, show up at the TV studio tomorrow." It's not what I freaking thought. But that was totally separate. Like, that's a totally separate show. I'm talking about, man, when you're there, Monday night, Thunder, working in the trenches. You can't do both, man. You can't do both. And I hated the performing end of it.
So obviously there's going to be a complete reboot, like we said. There's going to be all new titles, not new titles, but new champions. So everything is going to be new. I mean, we're going to have all these tournaments. Do you think it's almost too many matches, too much like tournaments going on? Because there's going to be 14 matches on this pay-per-view. Was it too much to do all at once, or what was the thought process behind that?
I don't think so, bro. That's how it was back then, man. I mean, there were a lot of matches on the cards back then. There were not freaking 20-minute matches. I mean, outside of the main event going longer, that's just the way it was written back then. And again, bro, you got to look at the size of the rosters, man. There are so many people on the roster, and we're just trying to get as many people on the show as possible.
Do you think it's overkill though to have all the tournament finals be at the pay-per-view and you're going to have all the champions crowned at the show? Do you think you could have like spread it out a little bit more, or no?
John, if I would have thought that, that's what I would have done.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yep.
we did that because at the time we thought that was the best way to do it. I guess probably, bro, so we could just move on. Let's just get it over. Let's reset the company, get it over with on this night so we can then move on.
It almost seems like you want to overload it too, maybe because you want it to be like a huge show. It's just like maybe a level of importance to the show, maybe.
Yeah, I always wanted to get everybody on the show. I always, because bro, when they're not on the pay-per-view, that's when, they're not happy and they start talking in the locker room. That's when all that shit goes down. So, I mean, John, I really did make an effort to keep everybody happy.
New blood, Millionaires Club, all new champions, Spring Stampede 2000, the pay-per-view hits. We had the intro, we had the video recap. They're showing you basically what happened with those groups, those factions, with you and Bischoff on Nitro. The pay-per-view intro hits. Basically, you, Bischoff, Kidman, and Tori Wilson are in the backstage area, and you're talking all about Hulk Hogan. You're Bischoff's fearing for his life. You're doing the whole angle with Hulk and Kidman and Bischoff. So you guys are discussing that in the back. It's kind of interesting to me, and call me crazy on this, but Kidman compared to even you and Bischoff, he just doesn't come off as a big star. I don't know. Even with Tori Wilson in the room, it's like he's like the least most important person. He's supposed to be the most, the big star here.
Bro, I got to tell you, the funny thing is, bro, I agree with that 1000%. But the funny thing is, here we are 25 years later, and they all look like Billy Kidman.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's kind of true. Yeah, definitely kind of true. But to me, I'm just like, I don't know. And I've heard, I think it was Bischoff was saying, or somebody saying like, oh, he's so charismatic, and it's like he not really, not at all.
It was the comments, bro. It was the comments Hogan made online that I was just trying to take advantage of. You know what I mean? That's all it was. If Kidman would have never, if Hogan would have never said those things about Billy Kidman, that whole angle would have never happened.
Yeah, because I don't know. To me, I'm just like astonished at when Bischoff or people say like, "Oh, he was so charismatic," and the booking could have been. I'm like, I don't know. He got too much. I feel like that's Hogan's worst feud.
Listen, Billy was, again, I always steal Dutch's term. Billy was a good little hand, man. He was a great little hand, but no, he was not that charismatic guy.